All right, today for pre-calculus, we're going to look at sum and difference formulas for sine and cosine as well as tangent, and double angle formulas for sine, cosine, and tangent. Let's get started. So this is primarily for my students who are taking the AP pre-calculus exam. You must know the following formulas. I handed out what I call a cheat sheet or a reference sheet for trig formulas and equations. These are on there. We have sine of a plus b or alpha plus beta. That can be rewritten as sine of alpha times cosine of beta plus cosine alpha cosine beta. Sine of alpha minus beta, this would be a difference formula. Sine alpha times cosine beta minus cosine alpha sine beta. So you notice the pattern here with sine. Sine A goes first, cosine B times cosine B, then the same math operation, right? And then cosine alpha times sine beta. Now looking at cosine, sum and difference. Cosine, the sum formula, alpha plus beta, we have cosine alpha times cosine beta, easy to remember, cosines go first. And then minus, which is the opposite operation of what you see inside the parentheses here, sine A, or sine alpha times sine beta. And then for the difference formula, cosine alpha minus cosine of alpha minus beta, we have cosine alpha times cosine beta. Again, same pattern. Cosine alpha and cosine beta go first. And then we have plus, so the math operation is the opposite one shown, and plus sine alpha times sine beta. Let's move on. I think seeing these in action will help. We're not seeing them in action yet. We're going to talk about the tangent ones, tangent sum and difference. So we have tangent alpha plus beta, and these introduce fractions now. So here it's broken in two parts here. They kind of write it, smash it together. Tangent alpha plus beta in the numerator, tangent of alpha plus tangent of beta. And then in the denominator, I get 1 minus tangent alpha times tangent beta. So you notice it's minus down here, but in the operation inside the parentheses on the left, it's plus. Plus in the numerator, plus minus in the denominator. Now the difference formula, tangent of alpha minus beta, I get tangent of alpha minus tangent of beta in the numerator. So you notice subtraction in the numerator, subtraction in my parentheses here. In the denominator, I get 1 plus tangent alpha times tangent beta. So again, we've switched now for the denominator. We have plus, and the operation here is minus. So you notice tangent of the sum and difference, if it's a sum in the numerator and a difference in the denominator. If it's a difference formula we're using, it's a difference in the numerator, sum in the denominator. Yep, let's just go. Okay, so double angle formulas. Instead of memorizing these, I think it's more important to see how they come about. So let's just, I don't want the arrow anymore. Let's just write them. I guess we're using black for sine. So remember, sine of alpha plus the sum formula alpha plus beta. Now it's just alpha plus alpha. I'm going to get sine of alpha times cosine of alpha, because it's the first alpha and the second alpha, plus, remember, if it's plus, sine matches the operation. Then it's cosine alpha sine alpha. Order doesn't matter because I'm multiplying right now. If I have, this is sine alpha cosine alpha plus sine alpha cosine alpha. We combine like terms, we get 2 cosine alpha sine alpha, or you could write it as 2 sine alpha cosine alpha. Order doesn't matter here. Generally, try to go alphabetical, okay? So let's switch to red for cosine. Remember, this one was cosine first for both. Cosine, the first angle, times cosine of the second angle. And then the sign in between is the opposite. So now we have subtraction, and then it's sine beta, sine beta. And this simplifies to cosine squared beta minus sine squared beta. And tangent, we'll switch to blue for tangent here. We have tangent of theta plus theta. So in the numerator, I have tangent theta plus tangent theta all over 1 minus, because if this is plus here, this in the denominator has to switch, be the opposite sign. 1 minus tangent theta times tangent theta. This can be simplified as 2 tan theta over 1 minus tangent squared theta. These are double angle formulas, and you just use the sum formulas, and instead of before we had we had Wow, I used the smallest eraser to try to erase that, and that is not very time efficient. We had A and B. This time it's just, imagine this is A and A, right? So we're using the same formulas we had before. We just get new things, simplified versions, because the two angles in the double angle formula are the same. Let's just move forward and do some examples. So what you'll see is you'll get a problem like this. Sine of pi over 12. Well, that's not a value that most students have memorized by looking at the unit circle. But what I've shown here is you can break pi over 12 into two different radian measures, pi over 3 and pi over 4. And when you find the difference, you get pi over 12. So I can rewrite sine of pi over 12 as sine of pi over 3 minus pi over 4. And now we have a difference formula. So that's going to be sine of the first radian times cosine of the second minus cosine of the first radian measure times sine of the second radian measure, where this is my first one and this is my second, reading left to right. So we have these values, we should have these values memorized in our units. So sine of pi over 3, it's radical 3 over 2. I'm multiplying that times cosine pi over 4, which is radical 2 over 2. Minus cosine pi over 3 is 1/2. Sine of pi over 4 is radical 2 over 2. We're going to multiply combined like terms. I have radical 6 over 4 minus radical 2 over 4 is radical 6 minus radical 2 over 4. Final answer. This would be our exact answer. If you needed an approximation, you would put this into your calculator and round, truncate, whatever the instructions given to you are. So now we're going to find the exact value of sine of u plus v. And it's given that sine of u is 4/5, and we're in the first quadrant of our unit circle. Cosine v is negative 12 over 13, and we're in the second quadrant of our unit circle. So if it's unclear about what to do, drawing a picture might help. So for some of these, in the past, I may have drawn a triangle and said, well, and here's my u in degree or radians. The opposite side is 4, the hypotenuse is 5, and I'll just have to find the adjacent leg. And then for this other triangle here for v, there's my v angle. My adjacent side is negative 12, and my hypotenuse is 13. I'm just going to have to find the opposite leg. We may have done these before, and so we'll solve for those missing pieces right now. So you can also, so what I did was use Pythagorean theorem. 4 squared plus x squared, I chose this to be x equals 5 squared, the hypotenuse. And then I solved, and I get x equals 3. And I did the same thing over here. 13, that's the 13 squared, that's the hypotenuse, equals negative 12 squared plus y squared. I just chose y to be this leg here. And I solved, and you get y equals 5. I know it's positive because it's in the second quadrant. Sine is called positive. So now I have lots of information here. And I can find these values. So I have sine of u. I need to find cosine of u. So looking at this triangle here, cosine of u is going to be 3 over 5. So that's 3/5. And then I have cosine of v, so that's this triangle here. In order to complete my double angle formula, I'm going to need sine of v, and that is going to be 5 over 13. So running out of room here. Let's go back to black. Sine of u plus v equals sine of u times cosine v plus cosine u sine v. Now I have values for these that I can plug in, right? So I do that. I replace these values. Sine of u, we were told, is 4/5. Cosine v, we were told, is negative 12 over 13. Plus cosine of u, we had to find, that is written down incorrectly. That's 3/5, pardon me, that's 3/5. And sine of v is 5 over 13. Now I'm going to multiply this, and I get negative 48 over 5 times 13 is 65, plus 15 over 65. And I have negative 48 plus 15 equals, was that negative 33? Looks like, yeah, negative 33 over 65. And this will be our exact value of sine of u plus sine of v. Moving on. So Some of you, particularly those in any kind of pre-calculus course or AP pre-calculus course, may have seen the cofunction identities. This has to do with these two angles being complementary. But so we can actually prove it using the difference formula for cosine. So we're just going to manipulate the left-hand side here only. So cosine and the difference formula for cosine is cosine of the first angle measure times cosine of the second angle measure. And remember, cosine switches signs, so the difference here turns into addition there. And I have sine of the first angle times sine of the second angle. And these are all values I know or don't know. So cosine of pi over 2, that's 0, times cosine of x. That kind of doesn't really matter, right? Because anything times 0 is 0, so that goes away. And then I have plus sine of pi over 2, that's 1, times sine, oops, that was sloppy, of x. So this is gone. 1 times sine of x is just sine of x, and we're done. We made it. That's it. Easy peasy. So now, solving a trig equation that has sums and differences and double angle formulas. There's a lot going on here. But if we just take it one step at a time, we'll get to our solution here. And we've restricted our interval here between 0 and 2 pi. So first we have a sum formula for sine, and then we have a difference formula for sine. So let us write out what they are. So for the sum formula, we take sine of the first angle measure times cosine of the second plus cosine of the first angle measure times sine of the second. So we've just taken care of this one. And then I'm going to put it in brackets because I have this one first. Plus, and then I'm going to use brackets, sine, and it's a difference formula. So it's still sine of the first angle times cosine of the second angle minus, remember the signs, the operations match. Cosine of the first angle times sine of the second angle. That equals -1. Okay. So there are spots where there are values that are known. We're going to replace those. So I have sine x times cosine pi over 4 is just radical 2 over 2. Plus, I'm going to keep it in brackets, cosine x times sine of pi over 4, that's radical 2 over 2. I forgot the x. Plus sine x times cosine pi over, that's another sine x times radical 2 over 2. Minus cosine x times sine pi over 4, that's minus cosine x times radical 2 over 2. And that still equals -1. So let's get rid of the brackets here. So I have radical 2 over 2 sine x plus radical 2 over 2 cosine x plus radical 2 over 2 sine x minus radical 2 over 2 cosine x equals -1. Now, I'm going to switch colors here because it's starting to lose focus. So we can combine like terms. First, let's combine the cosines. Good news is same leading coefficient, opposite sign in front. These go away. So now I just have radical 2 over 2 plus radical 2 over 2. So there's radical 2 over 2 plus radical 2 over 2 over 2 sine x equals -1. I'm actually going to rewrite that as I have 2 of those radical 2's, which means that cancels out. So I have radical 2 sine x equals -1. Divide both sides by radical 2. Sine x equals -1 over radical 2, which can be rewritten as negative radical 2 over 2. Okay, equals sine x. So this means x is, so this is true, sine x equals radical 2 over 2 when x is 5 pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4. And then we are finally done. Whew, that was a lot. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.